This is a place entirely shrouded in darkness. Any light that appears here is instantly consumed by the erratic and unpredictable spatial turbulence. This chaotic space, known for its violent and unstable nature, has a name that strikes fear even in the hearts of ordinary supreme experts of the Great Thousand Worlds. Dimensional turbulence. Dimensional turbulence refers to a peculiar space that exists between countless lower dimensions. This space is erratic, moving, twisting, and flowing without any discernible pattern. The terrifying tearing force it wields is said to have once caused the death of a second-grade supreme expert. Due to its fluid and chaotic nature, some experts have dubbed this turbulent space as liquid space. The liquid space turbulence beyond countless lower dimensions acts as a unique defensive line. Any expert attempting to break free from the shackles of a lower dimension to reach the Great Thousand Worlds must pass through these liquid spaces. Similarly, experts from the extraterritorial worlds or the Great Thousand Worlds cannot reach a lower dimension without constructing a specialized passage or possessing a dimension embryo. This holds true even for heavenly supreme experts. In other words, even Earth Supremes or Heavenly Supremes, when encountering fatal dangers within the liquid space, cannot easily tear through and escape as they could in the lower dimensions, Great Thousand Worlds, or the extraterritorial worlds. Although liquid space is perilous, some experts have discovered that its very existence prevents countless lower dimensions from colliding with one another. If two lower dimensions do come into contact, the liquid space between them immediately pushes them apart. However, if two lower dimensions were to ignore the deterrence of the liquid turbulence and collide, it would spell a monumental event concerning the very fate of those worlds. Now, an event in the depths of the lower dimensions is unfolding. An event so significant that it concerns not only the fate of the lower dimensions, but also the destiny of both the Great Thousand Worlds and the extraterritorial worlds. Two massive lower dimensions, each spanning hundreds of thousands of miles, are colliding within the endless liquid space turbulence. Moreover, they are merging at an astonishing speed, like two streams of liquid mercury meeting. Rumble. The dimensional merger unleashes a terrifying shockwave, causing the turbulent space within millions of miles to tremble violently. At the boundary where the two dimensions converge, entirely different energies from the two worlds clash and mutually annihilate, giving birth to a new type of energy. This energy surpasses any form found in either dimension, but lacks the domineering potency of the spiritual energy of the Great Thousand Worlds, or the corrosive power of the evil energy of the extraterritorial worlds. Within the two merging dimensions, life is utterly erased, leaving both worlds as desolate, deathly silent lands. In the turbulent space not far from the two merging dimensions, countless black silhouettes stand solemnly. These figures are shrouded in an overwhelming aura of evil energy. The extraterritorial evil clan. At the forefront of this assembly stand three figures, each exuding an aura no weaker than that of Earth's supreme experts from the Great Thousand Worlds. The leading figure is a man dressed in white, his skin as pale as death. His aura surpasses that of the Earth's supreme realm, earning him a title within the extraterritorial evil clan. Heavenly Emperor. A heavenly emperor of the extraterritorial evil clan, whose power rivals that of a heavenly supreme. Appearing in the lower dimensions is an event capable of sparking chaos among the lower dimension alliances. The extraterritorial evil clan is composed of thousands of evil and demonic subclans, over 90% of which belong to the emperor-level subclans. Each emperor-level subclan is led by an expert whose power rivals that of supreme experts, making them the primary force for invading the lower dimensions. Above the emperor-level subclans are the rarer Earth emperor-level subclans, whose leaders possess Earth's supreme-level power. These subclans are few, even among the vast extraterritorial evil clan. Yet, the Earth emperor-level subclans are not the true rulers of the extraterritorial evil clan. The real ruling class comprises those that surpass the Earth emperor-level subclans. Heavenly emperor-level subclans. The appearance of a heavenly emperor-level evil sovereign in the lower dimensions is enough to alarm all factions. Typically, the invaders of lower dimensions are emperor-level subclans. Even Earth emperor-level subclans are rarely seen, let alone a heavenly emperor-level subclan. If this were to be known by the lower dimension alliances, or the Great Thousand Worlds, how could such a terrifying existence, capable of dominating even the extraterritorial evil clan, appear in a lower dimension? For beings like them, who are comparable to a heavenly supreme, there's another reason they cannot enter the lower dimensions. Their overwhelming power would directly destroy an entire region. What purpose does a stronghold of the extraterritorial heavenly emperor have in descending upon the lower dimensions? The white-robed heavenly emperor sat cross-legged in the void, a faint smile on his lips. In his hands hovered illusory light and shadows, interweaving faintly. These were the dimensional embryos of two merging lower dimensions below, their fusion catalyzed by the intertwining of these embryos. It's happening just as expected. That demon attendant by the primordial demon ancestor was right. The white-robed heavenly emperor exclaimed with mad laughter, gazing at the rapidly merging dimensions below. If this plan truly succeeds, it will be far superior to seizing those dimensional embryos to use as mere stepping stones for conquering the Great Thousand Worlds. Behind him, an Earth Emperor, whose power rivaled that of an Earth Supreme, smirked coldly. Our evil clan's conquest of the lower dimensions, and even the Great Thousand Worlds, draws ever closer, another Earth Emperor remarked nonchalantly. Let's first complete what's before us, the white-robed heavenly emperor interjected. After all, this is just the first step. A sinister smile curled at the corner of the white-robed heavenly emperor's mouth. In his palms appeared two black runes, ominous and foreboding. The runes detached from his hands and shot into the dimensional embryos, embedding themselves at the embryos' foreheads. Ding! As the black runes imprinted onto the dimensional embryos, a dazzling yet eerie black light erupted, so corrosive it even eroded the surrounding liquid space. Under the influence of this black light, the embryos accelerated their fusion, edging closer to becoming one. The chaotic spatial currents surrounding them bore countless evil clan experts, all intently focused on the embryos and the merging lower dimensions. This was a monumental miracle, a new starting point for their domination of the Great Thousand Worlds. What a spectacular scene! A voice suddenly remarked in astonishment, piercing through the turbulent spatial currents and resounding in the ears of all the evil clan experts. Who is it? The abrupt disturbance sent a jolt through everyone present. The white-robed heavenly emperor's brow furrowed, and the surrounding evil clan experts quickly dispersed, forming a fearsome array to prepare for any unforeseen events. With over 1,000 evil clan experts, each comparable to a supreme, their combined formation unleashed a power so overwhelming even an Earth Supreme would choose to avoid it. Boom! But just as the evil clan's superformation took shape, an incomprehensible force emanated from nowhere, enveloping a radius of 1,000,000 feet. Under this terrifying control, every evil clan expert froze in place, utterly immobile. In the liquid spatial turbulence 1,000 feet away, a figure emerged, stepping forth leisurely. It was an elder in white robes. Upon his arrival, he pointed a finger into the void before him. Boom! A devastating force tore through the liquid turbulence, creating not a spatial rift but a passage into pure void, true emptiness that not even a heavenly supreme could distort. From this void passage surged an overwhelming power that collided with the massive formation of evil clan experts. In an instant, the formation shattered, and over 1,000 evil clan experts were severely wounded. The white-robed heavenly emperor, observing from afar, narrowed his eyes. This kind of power could only belong to a heavenly supreme. Are you one of the lower dimension alliance's powerhouses? The white-robed heavenly emperor slowly rose, fixing his gaze on the white-robed elder. He was certain that only someone from the lower dimension alliance could wield such terrifying power. Do you question where I come from? The white-robed elder's cold eyes swept over the white-robed heavenly emperor before shifting to the two merging lower dimensions below. Then allow me to tell you. A surge of overwhelming murderous intent flooded the heart of the white-robed elder. These extraterritorial evil clans were indeed destined to be mortal enemies of the lower dimension, bound by a blood feud spanning countless generations. I am Wu Wanlong, Great Elder of the Western Heaven Palace. As the Elder's furious words resounded, a sharp contraction flickered in the pupils of the white-robed, heavenly emperor. When Wu Wanlong's rage-filled voice echoed through the space, every powerhouse present, including the white-robed heavenly emperor, changed their expression. Their actions here were supposed to be highly covert, taking place in a remote location. They had even cleared out the surrounding dozens of dimensional regions, including a powerhouse at the Earth's supreme level from the Great Thousand Worlds, personally eliminated by the white-robed heavenly emperor to rule out any possibility of information leaking back to the lower dimension alliance. Yet now, a heavenly supreme powerhouse from the Western Heaven Palace had unexpectedly appeared, completely outside of the white-robed heavenly emperor's calculations. How could the lower dimension alliance have learned of what transpired here? And for the one arriving to be none other than the Great Elder of the Western Heaven Palace, Wu Wanlong, a name well known even in the extraterritorial realm. He had once slain 4 earthly emperors and grievously injured a heavenly emperor during a grand battle against the extraterritorial evil clans. The extraterritorial evil clans maintained a kill list for the most wanted powerhouses of the lower dimension alliance, with Wu Wanlong ranked 16th. His current strength had already reached the mid-stage of the heavenly supreme level. The white-robed heavenly emperor's gaze grew increasingly solemn. The task he was executing came directly from the primordial demon ancestor, carrying such weight that it surpassed even obtaining numerous dimension embryos from the lower dimensions. The clan the white-robed heavenly emperor led, the Slaughter Demon Clan, was ranked 6th among the 4,000 major demon clans of the extraterritorial evil clans. Though his strength was slightly inferior to Wu Wanlong's, comparable to the initial stage of a heavenly supreme from the Great Thousand Worlds, he was not one to be easily subdued in a one-on-one confrontation. However, failure in this mission would lead to the Slaughter Demon Clan status in the extraterritorial realm plummeting. This plan could not be disrupted by these lower dimension powerhouses. On the way here, more than 10 dimensional regions were utterly annihilated. Wu Wanlong's gaze burned with fury as he glared at the white-robed heavenly emperor before him. Those regions included 2 high-grade dimensions, where countless lives in the trillions were mercilessly slaughtered by these demons without hesitation. Indeed, it was us. The white-robed heavenly emperor stood with hands behind his back, his gaze flashing coldly as he met Wu Wanlong's furious stare. After hearing Wu's accusation, he immediately realized that the lower dimension alliance had not uncovered their operation here, but had been alerted by the massacre of countless lives in this dimensional region. Indeed, they had been too reckless, drawing attention and leading to Wu Wanlong's investigation. But now that they had been discovered, there was only one option left. The most extreme path, ensuring Wu Wanlong, ranked 16th on the kill list, would vanish entirely before the lower dimension alliance could learn of this event. I know you, Wu Wanlong, are ranked 16th on our kill list, and your strength exceeds mine by a slight margin. The white-robed heavenly emperor's sharp gaze locked onto Wu Wanlong, his lips curving into a faint, unsettling smile that sent chills through Wu Wanlong. Simultaneously, his voice, penetrating the space, resounded clearly. Speaking of which, the demon attendant by the primordial demon ancestor's side truly has unparalleled foresight. This situation had already been foreseen. The primordial demon ancestor. Upon hearing this name, Wu Wanlong's pupils contracted violently. He knew that the primordial demon ancestor was one of the ultimate sovereigns of the extraterritorial evil clans, and one of the 3 primordial ancestors who had led them during the apocalyptic battles of ancient times. During that era, the 10 supreme powerhouses forced the 3 primordial ancestors to retreat at great cost, with one killed and another gravely injured. Since then, they had vanished from history. Wu Wanlong's gaze dropped to the 2 lower dimensions below, which were nearing complete fusion. Was this so-called mission being carried out on the direct orders of the primordial demon ancestor? But hadn't the primordial demon ancestor perished in ancient times? Could it be that the primordial demon ancestor was still alive? For now, Wu Wanlong could only assume so. He also understood that any task assigned by an existence surpassing the heavenly supreme level would be of monumental importance. Likewise, the dimensional fusion occurring below was an unprecedented phenomenon even for him. We were prepared for your arrival? Oh? Then let me see what preparations you have made. Wu Wanlong's gaze turned icy as he fixed his eyes on the slaughter, heavenly emperor. A terrifying aura, immense and oppressive, instantly enveloped the liquid turbulent space for tens of thousands of miles. Centered on Wu Wanlong, the liquid space within thousands of feet around him was forcibly expelled, leaving behind an absolute space that even a heavenly supreme powerhouse could not tear apart. Under Wu Wanlong's stern gaze, the slaughter heavenly emperor slowly raised his palm. In the center of his palm, a black jade bracelet appeared, seemingly ordinary apart from its dark hue. Yet, as the slaughter heavenly emperor stared at the jade bracelet, a maniacal smile curled at the corners of his mouth. Then, with a sudden clench, he crushed the black jade bracelet into fragments. Bang! As the black bracelet shattered, Wu Wanlong's expression shifted. Among the scattered fragments, a drop of black liquid emerged in the slaughter heavenly emperor's hand. From this single drop of black blood, Wu Wanlong sensed an immensely dangerous and terrifying energy, a force that seemed to stand above all existence. This was a power far beyond the heavenly supreme level, a pressure that should not exist in this world. And then, the slaughter heavenly emperor's next words sent a shiver through Wu Wanlong's heart. Heh, this is a drop of our clan's demon ancestor's essence blood, the slaughter heavenly emperor said, picking up a shard of the black bracelet. He drew the shard across his other palm, causing gray blood to flow from his fingertips. The gray blood dripped onto the black essence blood in his other hand. Buzz. The gray blood and black blood fused in front of the slaughter heavenly emperor, swelling and forming a gray-black sphere about a meter in diameter. Across from him, Wu Wanlong watched the strange ritual unfold, unease flooding his heart. He had never expected the slaughter heavenly emperor to possess a drop of the primordial demon ancestor's essence blood. This confirmed his worst fear, that the primordial demon ancestor might still be alive. The gray-black blood sphere hovered in front of the slaughter heavenly emperor. As ripples spread across its surface, Wu Wanlong's pupils contracted sharply. Emerging from the ripples was a black arm. The blood sphere began to shrink and was soon entirely absorbed by a black figure that gradually materialized. When the gray-black blood sphere disappeared completely, a man appeared before everyone. His appearance was unassuming, but every inch of his body, skin, eyes, and clothing was pitch black. From this man emanated a terrifying aura, surpassing the initial stage of the heavenly supreme level. Boom! The overwhelming pressure pushed the surrounding liquid turbulent space even farther away, creating a void within 100,000 feet. Wu Wanlong's expression turned to shock as he realized that the black figure's aura had exceeded his own, reaching the mid-stage heavenly supreme level. What happened next made Wu Wanlong's heart sink even further.